Well, we continue to keep a close eye on developments in Zimbabwe, and now we talk to Political Analyst Dr. Mpofu from our Pretoria studios. Dr. Mpofu, welcome to the Globe. And listening to the president this afternoon, he was talking about, the era of elections has passed. Let's put this behind all of us. Was it strategic or politically savvy for him to say such when there's still this pending case?
I think the president in question is missing an opportunity to live up to the moment of heroism, since Zimbabwe is going through the Heroes Day moment. Zimbabwe needs a hero, it needs a healer, it needs a reconciler, it needs a uniter. But this particular president is digging in as a partisan, personal, and a factional leader. He is squandering an important opportunity to be a hero and to live up to the needs, the dreams, and the fantasies of the people of Zimbabwe. And to say Zimbabweans are moving on post the elections when there are dead bodies, when a bomb has exploded below his own platform, and when other Zimbabweans are mourning, and multitudes of Zimbabweans are aggrieved because of the fraud and the force that has been exhibited in the elections that are still before the courts, waiting for the courts to pass a verdict. The president is failing to be relevant, and I think the president should live up and work out of the nightmare of partisan victory, personal victory, and factional victory, and try to center Zimbabweans as the beneficiaries of any kind of political victory that is possible. Zimbabweans need a political solution, not a legal, not a military, but a political solution that will heal the polity, heal the economy, and heal the soul, the hearts and the minds of the people of Zimbabwe. And the President Mnangagwa is lacking friends and allies who can advise him.
Okay, I wanted to say to you, Dr. Mpofu, well, it's Armed Forces Day tomorrow, which I guess then affords him another opportunity to talk to the people of Zimbabwe. What would you rather have him say?
The soldiers of Zimbabwe should be soldiers, politicians should be politicians, and citizens of Zimbabwe should be allowed to be citizens and to be subjects of power, not objects of power. Soldiers should go back to the barracks, participate in politics. People of Zimbabwe should be at the center of the economy. They should assume the heroism and be beneficiaries of whatever forms of politics are taking place. As we speak, President Mnangagwa himself is a captive of the military. The army has moved into politics. There are now two centers of power. Chiwenga is in charge, Mnangagwa himself is in charge, and the opposition are in charge as they are petitioning the courts right now. There is disorder under the heavens in Zimbabwe. But that particular situation, like Mao said, is conducive for thinkers to rise up, revolutionaries to come up, and heroes to come up and deliver Zimbabwe. This is no time for total victories by one group or one individual, but the victory should belong to the people of Zimbabwe. The opposition, the ruling junta, and everyone in Zimbabwe should come together and get an internationally supervised government of national unity that will reorganize the polity in Zimbabwe, heal the economy in Zimbabwe, and restore normalcy to that country.
Well, whilst you're quoting Chairman Mao there, you're reminding us also that ZANU-PF is a Marxist-Leninist party, and therefore Lenin says you must instill terror and fear in the minds of the opposition, which is what they are probably doing.
Yeah, I'm not essentializing Mao, but I'm trying to feed from that wisdom that once there's chaos like this, it's also an opportunity for people to rethink. Zimbabweans are known the world over. They boast about it themselves that they are a brainy people, they are a thinking people, and they are heroic people. And this is the moment for heroes to arise, not for partisans, not for factionals. This is the time for utopia to say that activity of shooting 7 people in order to scare the millions of Zimbabweans into passivity is not heroic. In this century, people need to produce heroic ideas that can deliver multitudes to prosperity. And Emmerson Mnangagwa, together with the opposition in Zimbabwe, with his party, with the army, this is the time for Zimbabwe to sober up or prepare for catastrophe, where you have soldiers involved in politics, people who grew up as child soldiers, who have not been prepared to administer countries, who have not been prepared to run the state, now want to be in power and run the state, which is a recipe for disaster. So it's time for Zimbabweans first to sober up, for the region of Africa to stand up and prevent a catastrophe, and for the world, the Russians and the Chinese should come in as investors and as international partners. The United Kingdom and the US and some of their allies should also come not as colonizers, not as imperialists, not as dark forces that are sponsoring factions and are sponsoring warlords, but are helping to rebuild that country. So I think President Mnangagwa should sober up and lead whoever he is leading into sobriety. Nelson Chamisa should do the same, and all other individuals that are involved. This is the time to heal Zimbabwe. And a political solution is urgently needed, or we'll have another Rwanda in 1994, we'll have another Kukuraundi, we'll have another Mrambatswina, and all other political catastrophes. So the death of one person is a death too many.
Sure.
President Mnangagwa, this is the time to sober up, and heroism is not total victory but compromise. So mobilize the people of Zimbabwe into a unity and mend these fissures, these divisions that are taking the people of Zimbabwe back.
Okay, now the Constitutional Court is supposed to pronounce within a day or two on their outcome. Either way, it would mean either the elections is a rerun or they pronounce on the president. We do not know how far we can really rely on the independence of the Constitutional Court, given all the shenanigans that have happened in the past 3 or so decades of a ZANU-PF rule. What are your expectations and what could be the implications in a minute?
The jury is out. As I speak, fraud has been shown, force has been shown. What we need to valorize in this particular political climate is not either the law or just the partisan power politics, but the ethics, the difference between what is right and what is wrong. That's why I'm trying to pronounce a situation whereby a political solution is needed, whereby ethics, the importance and the veracity of what is right for the people of Zimbabwe should be centralized. And Zimbabwean talents, these exiles, the expelled people, the beaten people, the widows, the widowers, and the multitudes of Zimbabwe that have been robbed should all be mobilized ethically, politically, and be brought forward to say, this is the time for healing. We don't need total losers. We don't need total winners. Zimbabwe needs, in the minimum, 5 years of an internationally supervised GNU that will unite Nelson Chamisa, Emmerson Mnangagwa, and all other players into a kind of political Pentecost, where people of different ideologies, people of different beliefs, and people of different political languages and cultures come together to say, this is a Zimbabwean moment. We are now proving our heroism, our intelligence, and we are rebuilding our country, to permit the polity to be reorganized, for soldiers to go back to the barracks, for revolutionaries to come forward, for Zimbabwean technocrats, Zimbabwean economists, Zimbabwean scientists and engineers to come back and prove that indeed Zimbabweans are a gift from God, are a gift to Africa and to the world, and we can do this. Dr. Instead of these digging ins by partisans, by individual politicians and their factions, that is political immaturity. And Emmerson Mnangagwa must not squander an opportunity for him for once to be a hero and a leader of the people. And that entails humility, not boisterousness, and not this crocodile mentality of winner take all and all such Golgothic pretensions.
Dr. William Mpofu, thank you very much. That was Dr. William Mpofu, our political analyst, joining us from our Pretoria studios, talking about the situation in Zimbabwe. We take a quick break. When we return, we'll give you more news as the globe continues.